Okay, I'm going to be going over the control adapter here. We'll select this. We'll enable this ControlNet. We're going to add one, and we're going to switch to pose right here, open pose. My strength is set to 7. That's actually default. If you just click here, it'll set to 7. You can mess with this. 7 seems to be working pretty good with this. For the control mode, I like to mess with the mega control and the control here. So we would not be using a prompt at all on this. And I'm just for this demonstration. The prompt is a 30-year-old man in shorts. I want to give him something to wear in case something comes up. And like I said, this I'm going to be using ZBrush and any software that you can pose in, or you can create a pose like this, and it is 3D and it's not 2D. And if I scrub through the history right here that I go through, you can see I'm making heads smaller and smaller and smaller, and we can bring it bigger and bigger and bigger, and then we can make poses like this and turn it. We can do anything we want. If you have other softwares that you can move the arms with, you can do it in here, but it's a little difficult, and you can have it in 3D. Alright, so I had made a couple of them, and I'm going to show you. I'm just going to load these images, and before I do, it's best to have your documents the same size that the model is created on that you're using. 512 by 578. So we'll keep that in mind. This is the document I want to use. This custom model was designed for this to work correctly for the size right here. So this is pretty cool. So I'm just going to show you. As you can see, I don't have nothing yet. We're going to upload an image. We're just going to take the we'll take the one that's facing towards us here, and what we're going to do is we're just going to drag this in here. Then it's going to create a pose, hopefully. The coloring may have a little effect, so I gave it a little dark background, and it's kind of highlighted on the man here, so it really sticks out. So we're going to start with here, default 7. You can mess with this later, and let's see what else we got here. Now if we scroll up, we're just going to use the image to 1. So when I did this here and I press generate, it creates a pose just like it did in the 3D software. Alright, like I said, you can mess with this here and see what other results you're going to get. And I'm going to show you something just in case you run into problems. So that one looks pretty good. We're going to switch over, and we're going to something more to the angle of it instead of straight on. More like this is more like 2D. This is 3D. So we can create a pose in that, and we don't want to use this original pose that we got there, because if we do, this is what's going to happen. It's going to go back to that pose. So once you got your pose in here, or the image with a pose, you need to still drag it over here. And when we do this, we'll switch and we'll produce a image here the way this one is posed. Alright, now keep in mind that we can save these poses right here, save control images, and I saved it. And if it, let me do that one more time, because when I paused the video I forgot to unpause it, so I'll just recap this again. We'll go over here, and the guy I had selected was this guy here, so we're going to select here and drag him in here, and you can see that we don't have the pose here or here, so we're going to go ahead and save it. And you can see it set to the image board. I don't see it there, and I don't see it there. So refresh the page. Let's see if we can get it to pop back up. You need to select the board because it automatically goes to uncategorize. And you can see that it didn't save it there. It's in the asset browser right there. Now I'm going to load one that's going to give me a little problem. I'm going to show you, because if you get too extreme, things may not work. I got one here called, this is the bigger head. Alright, and then I'm just going to, I had to pause the video. We'll switch here. Open pose. Make sure that's in there. Make sure I got the right one in there. And we're going to switch this one to control. And for the sake, I'm just going to do one image right here. And this, the head's getting a little too large. It's getting a little extreme. And like I said, when you tweak some of these settings, you ain't got to go far, so it's, you might bump it up just a little bit. See what happened here? So what we can do is we can kind of help it along a little bit by adding to the prompt here. Okay, it's a 30-year-old man with a big head. Let's see if that helps improve it. And you can see it did. So if you want to start to add to the prompt to help it along, that'll help it out a lot. That head there's a little extreme there, but if you want to just like mess around, you can just drag this over here, and this is optional here, so see if we can get that stuck in there with the shape and everything. Now let's see if this helps out a little bit. Give it some color maybe. And there you go. Open up this new tab. Close this one out. This one, open this one in a new tab. So basically got me some color out of that one. Okay, I paused the video and I did a few things. And what I'm going to do is if I'm going to drag this image over here, even though they look the same, I'm just going to go ahead and drag this in here just in case there was a little bit of changes in here. And I'm going to switch to the prompt, because if something doesn't work, you can go to prompt. If you come up here, you can see I added "and wearing a shirt." Without the 2 plus signs that gives it more weight, it may not give it a shirt. So if you put the 2 plus signs on here, it should give it a shirt. And like I said, there's these settings that you can mess with, like down here, but you ain't got to do a whole lot, you know, and don't go too far on it. So just go down small in increments or up in increments to find out what you like. And it should give them a shirt. Normally I'm doing it for one for the video, for the image. If you do a bunch of them, you can come up with different results. And also, I would not use the seed on here, because what will end up happening is sometimes on that last image, or especially if I'm doing on this first image, it may make it looks fried. It's this overcooked. It's just like it's and it doesn't look right, in other words. So we'll just open this new tab and see him with a shirt on here. So we got a shirt right here. I paused the video and I changed it up. A 30-year-old man in pants and wearing a shirt, okay, instead of the shorts. Another thing to keep in mind is, like I said, I paused the video, so I'll just kind of just drag this over just to make sure I'm doing this. Now I want them in shorts. Remember, I was always using the number 7. The higher I go, the more it will take away from looking more like him. So we gotta, and like you go up or down just to see what's going to happen. So I'll just show you what I've been using, and you can do different options. I want to stay close to his face as I can without, I still want pants on him. So see, he still didn't have pants on him. So basically what I can do is, what I tried to do is I started to add the plus signs, and let's see if we can get one right here. That way I can keep low as I can, but I'm increasing the weight up here. So we'll just go ahead and delete that image, and we'll just drag that back over and try that again by adding some more weight up there in the prompt. And we try it like right here. And like I said, I'm only doing one, and I really need to do a couple images to see. He's got pants here, but he's, you know, he could probably look a little, he looks pretty close to what he did. So you can drop this down. I went to 6.5. I'm just gonna drag this over here so we don't have to see that, and we can do a comparison when I try this here. And you'll know when you don't wear any, the pants are gone or whatever, that means I went too low. So that looks pretty good. Looks like his face. I could even go one more step further. Let's try 6 to see what happens. 0.6. This will help keep, you know, hair on his legs, his face. Now you can see we're kind of blending between the pants, and now he's wearing shorts. So I maybe think 0.65 is going to be good for this. And I'll get a lot of variations if I crank this up to 4 images. So it's best to do it that way. But in this video, I'm just trying to speed it up. So that's kind of how that works right there. You know, I'll just actually, I'll just do 4 of them here. And I will pause the video. And there they are. Alright. Let's go back to here. And let's cycle through them. And like I said, the lower you get this, the more you can keep his face. And things weren't working out well and not showing up. And that's why adding weight will influence, hey, I want pants on him, okay? So if I influence it here by adding a plus sign, that allows me to go lower here to match the face. So that's just a little tip. Make him match everything, the hair on his leg or whatever, you know, just basic, his pose and everything else. So all I want to do is actually have him look like this with just pants on it, and it looks pretty close right there. It's not necessary that you use ControlNet. You can use it with an on or off. I'll just go show you an example with it off. You have to experiment. You'll probably get different results. Better results maybe with the pose on versus having it off. And I'll just do a quick one right here, and I'm going to do the big head here. Let's do it with a long neck here. Alright, 7 right here. Since I'm not using ControlNet, may have to have some adjustments to it. So if I select here, and we'll just do one without the ControlNet. Alright, you can see he's got a little bit longer neck, and that's working out pretty good. And let's delete that one. Let's upload. Which one do I have? I'll just select this one here. We'll let this one go out a little bit. Now usually where it messes up is when you start going lower, and that's something, but normally when you have it off, you have to bump it up one past the default right here. So if I just move the slider for some reason, and you select reset, it goes to 7 or 0.7. If we just bump this up one, then you can see different results. Typically without the this ControlNet adapter, basically we'll have to probably bump it up a little bit, and usually that'll work for that right there. Okay, in this step here, as you can see, I save my pose. You can actually drag this pose over here, and it should load in here. And we'll set that to pose. Open. And now, the guy from Invoke, I haven't experimented a whole lot on this right here. So I believe he has a video. I think he duplicates this, and to get this pose to work on something, on a different character or something like that. And probably best for you to find that video. I'm not sure where it was at, because basically that's not what I'm going over. I might go over it later if I find the best way, but he's got the correct settings how to use this. So, and I'm sure you can use this in like other text to image. But anyway, I'm going to show you a couple that I made, and I'm just basically showing you how to pose a character and create a pose. So I have a couple loaded right here, and remember this was the first one, and I created a pose, and then from that pose I created a bunch of characters with different poses. And you can change the model also if you have like one for a cartoon, and I can add sunglasses to it, and you can make it like cartoonish. Here's two that I did. You can see they all have the same pose, and added some tattoos with a tank top shirt, same pose. So that's kind of how that works on that. If you, like I said, if you ever any other software, it don't have to be ZBrush, any way that you can pose something, then you can create your own pose. Okay, this is a mannequin. It does not resemble a guy that I was doing. This will probably give me a little bit of problem. So as you can see, I was using the man earlier, so we want to make sure that we stick with the one we're posing. It's going to be a man also. Or if you're doing a lady, make sure you know you're posing a lady. This is just a little demonstration. If you have a like blender that you can rig and move stuff around, this will work great for it. And like I said, make sure your documents and everything the same size. And I'll show you something else. This little option, this little icon down here, set control image dimension to the width and height. That means this image, if it was 1024 by 1024, it would set that image to that. Then you're going to have problems because this model up here, right here, was designed for 512 by 768. So that could cause you another little problem. That's just a little tip.